Yo, what's up, everybody? Gonna be getting started in just a minute. Just finishing setting up stuff. Just so y'all know, I'm just going to be probably drawing most of the time, just because I'm not feeling well. Throat's a little scratchy. Alright. And I did not realize that worked that way. That's good to know. Alright. So in this video, I'm going to be just doing some muscle stuff. So yeah, if it hopefully it's helpful for y'all. I probably, like I said, I'm not going to commentate too much. I'm actually probably going to hop off and just draw and allow y'all, if y'all are in the chat or whatever and you want to see something or something like that, or if you want something explained, just tell me. But yeah. 1 second. Sorry for the delay. Alright. Let's get started here. Just gonna put on some music for myself as y'all listen to that. And yeah, I'm going to, I also fixed the microphone, so that's good. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I got my references on the side. And make sure I get the right pencil. Alrighty. Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second, everybody. Gotta get the correct sheet up for you. My bad. Alright. I was like, why does that look so freaking big? Alright. Sorry about the delay, folks. Oh, sorry. Forgot I wanted to get the chat up on my other computer just in case. Also, I am sorry that it has been a little bit. I actually went to a wedding in Mexico, and then after I did the wedding in Mexico, I obviously got sick, so I couldn't do it this week. I was just too dead. But all right. Let me. Yeah, I should have probably did this at 4, huh? All kinds of unorganized. Alright, perfect. I think I'm giving myself about an hour. I think I'll probably in an hour get 3 of these done. Because that's how quickly they've been going. Excuse me. So this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to just get the basic skeleton of this pose down, and then after I do that, I'm going to take away my reference and do the best that I can to fill in the muscles. And then after I do the muscles, doing, the muscles based off of my own brain and recollection, then I will go back to my reference and check to see how well I did. Alright. So we will start off with the Pectoralis Majors. And I am still also, it's not totally without reference. I do have, I have, a model right next to me. I actually just got it today. And that model is, it's half of it is the skin of the, skin on top of the muscles of the human body. Then the other half is just the musculature. So I am going to be looking at that for, just as a guide to where things are located and stuff like that, because I still want to be able to, even if I am like pretty accurate with what I'm doing, I want to base it off of something, because while I do know the muscles pretty well at this point, there's still a lot of stuff that I tend to get repeatedly wrong, so alright, so let's get in the what are these called? Obliques? I was about to say the lats. Actually, first, before we do that, I'm going to do this, fix up my area where the obliques connect. There's going to be a skin fold there. There should be. This one, you're going to see the rib, and then it's going to come back down and around. This is still a little too... this feels off proportionally. I mean, I think the head's a little big, but something else feels off, but that's alright. I will check my reference afterwards. Okay. So I should have indicated where the thumbs were. I think his thumb is here, and then on this one I think it's here somewhere. The reason why it's important to know where the thumbs are is because that actually will give you a little bit of an indication as to which way the bicep is, because the thumb and the bicep kind of move in the same way. And that's not perfect reference by any means, but it does work that way in some instances. I think that you would see a little bit of the triceps here as well. Let me maybe go back. Yeah, bicep. Something's off here. Alright, let me think here. I'm looking at my model. This wraps around and in like that. And from this angle, the bicep's going to step in front. Excuse me. Bicep's going to step in front of the deltoid. I'm going to go ahead and just put the lat in. It's going to be something like probably actually drop a little lower than that. Start here and go here. Yeah, the bicep will be in here like that more than likely, and yeah, you're gonna see a good portion of the tricep as it drops down in here. You're gonna get a little bit of the coracobrachialis as well, and then get the, I think this hand is a little too high, so I am gonna drop this down just a little bit. Then you'll get this here, and then this here. Let me see something. All that's gonna go in here. It's gonna be kind of like that. was right the first time, I think, because I think that this is going to wrap up and around. This is going to split actually a little closer to like here. And then you'll get some of the brachialis muscle bulging out right here to separate, and then this will actually, I think, go a little bit longer, and this might even bulge up a little bit more. This will wrap around like that and probably bulge up more there as well. Alright, let's try that out. The head just feels weird. So let me up that a little bit and maybe pull it up just slightly. I think it was a little too close. Okay. That feels a little better. Alright, and then we're going to get something similar on the other side. Delt is going to wrap around the back. Get the bicep like right in here. Tricep. And then for this one, you would get a bit of a wrap around here where the back muscle is, and then a slight split here, I believe, until get there. It's gonna be a bit chunkier, I think. And probably get a little bit of the lat in the back. Okay. Excuse me, peeps, excuse me. Alright. And then you get a bulge here. It's going to plot down like this. That doesn't feel good. Probably something like that. I gotta restudy my abdominals because I'm not like, I've been struggling figuring out exactly how they would align with twisted and tilted bodies like this. Alright, so the next thing that I will add is going to be the quadricep muscle group. Okay. Alright, so this is going back in space. So this is coming up in space. Get the gracilis muscle. It goes here. This is going to wrap up and around. This is going to wrap up and around. I should have drawn the feet. Get a little bit of like TFL muscle right here, and then we're gonna get a split a little bit of the Gluteus Minimus, or medialis, I don't know, the smaller glute muscle. And then Gluteus Maximus on this back side here. I'm not going to see that from this angle. This probably needs to drop down just a little more. Here. Let me see something here. It's not looking too bad so far. Let's get the kneecap in right here. Oh yeah, I can never remember, Serratus, I believe. What's the name of that muscle? Is going to come and wrap around and hit here. And I definitely don't know what the other one is. I don't know if this is the TFL that goes here, or the IT band that goes on this side or not, but the leg looks a little broken. I think it's the knee placement. It might be okay. My legs today have been looking a little broken, ladies and gents. Alright, even though this one is going back in space, it feels a little too small, but I'll trust my initial instincts on that. Alright, let's get the Serratus. Let's get this. Yeah, this is not correct right here. This looks weird. That's alright, I'll just have to live with it for now and look at my reference and see what I'm doing wrong in the knee. Alright. I think I'm pretty good. I mean, I can add, like, I'm not going to worry about those because I already know where they are. They're not going anywhere, but only things that I didn't really add, I could have added more lines for the abs, and then I could have done something for the serratus anterior, which is like the riblets that you see. But I'm just gonna keep it like this and check my reference and see how horrible this actually was. All right. Okay. The only thing I really messed up. So the leg is jacked. Okay. That's good to know. I'm gonna correct that on screen. So this leg comes here, and then. Okay. Yeah, my foot is what messed me up. Okay. So it comes here, and the knee is almost facing towards us, and then the tibia kind of goes like this, and the foot is actually facing like towards us, and then this leg on this side is a little thicker and actually under him more. So yeah, I just messed up the positioning of the legs a little bit, so let me correct that, and then we'll move on to the next one. And this knee is lower. I knew that looked funny. Okay. Alright, so what happened was this knee is lower, but since it's going back in space, this feels smaller here, and the foot is like this, and for this is actually going to appear a little longer. Could probably okay. Overall, though, my leg wasn't too horrible. This pops out here, then goes in. This is lower, comes up, and the knee sits here. So that means that this goes into the tibia. Then we get, yes, the serratus. Or not the serratus, the sartorius muscle that comes and hits right here. And then the IT band is gonna, or whatever this muscle is gonna come right here. And then we get our slightly off-center calf muscle that drops down. This actually goes in like that, and this one comes down like this. The calf muscle goes back behind. This pops out a little more. And yeah, I really need to study knees more because this is actually hard for me to draw even with the reference right in front of me. So we get the shin bone here. Alright, so the knee is facing that direction, and that would mean that we get all the musculature basically coming on that side, with the knee being slightly covered by the Vastus Medialis. It's gonna plop up like that. This one is here, and that pushes this out and then in. Okay. Alright, so now we get the Serratus. It's going to wrap around and hit here. We're going to actually get some of the hamstrings back here as well. And the gracilis. I finally got this like little bulge right here. Nice. Alright, so we got that. And this is almost straight and then down. Cool, cool. Alright. And then we get the heel. Heel here, and the foot is right here. I'm going to actually pull this up slightly. Alright, so let me properly separate these muscles here out, because this isn't working for me, and then I'll move on. So we get Vastus Medialis, comes below. It looks like the rectus femoris is pushing out on the vastus lateralis. This just looks funky. I mean, I know that this guy is like got tree trunks for legs, but okay. I am relatively satisfied with that. This is here, so that means this one. Drops down to this one. Okay. That is good enough for me. The upper body, oh, I guess I could probably fix that too. The big piece of this that's incorrect is just this overlap right here. So, and then the thumb is actually up here like that, and the hand is bent, but that part doesn't matter so much. So we get the ulna, then we get a little bit of this muscle popping behind like I had, and then this muscle here that overlaps, and it's going to come down like that. Okay. And this back one, I pretty much nailed it. My wrist is a little thin, but yeah, that one's good. Neck muscle's good. This is a little bit more bulged. And so is this one. Make sure I get that dip in there. Alright, so that is my first one done. Let me check to see how long that one took. I can't check there. I don't know because I can't check it. Let me see. The stream has been going on for, started at 3:45, took 15 minutes to get ready, and it took me about 20 minutes. It's not too bad. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. It's not too bad. Alright, this is a pretty good one. Next week when I do this, because I'll probably do next week and then take 1 week off and then start back up again, I'll do women. Alright, so same thing. Let me get this rough skeleton in. Let's see, the angle of that is almost straight down. Alright, the hands are in fists this time, so that'll be excuse me. Pull this down just a tad. Alright. So all right. Alright, I think I did a better job with the skeleton on this one, so let's see how me putting in the muscles works. I'm gonna check one more thing really fast. I think I made the head a little too big. It just slightly. So let me make that a little smaller real fast. Okay. Alright, so let's start off with the neck. This ear's going to be like here. Other ear would be like over here. Okay. Don't really think you're going to see too much of the traps from this angle. Alright, I'm going to get a pretty decent stretch out of the whatchamacallit, it's the Pectoralis Major. Okay, so the delt's going to be something like that. It's going to wrap up and around though. And then we're going to get the biceps and there travel underneath the pecs. Okay, so this is a nice clean view where we're going to get to see the Brachioradialis do its thing. Elbows here. Let me check to see where the pinky is. The pinky's on the back side, so almost going over there, which would mean that you're going to get this muscle, and that's really about it. You're going to see from the forearm. Is this foreshortened? Because if not, yeah, it is a little bit. So, okay. So, a little bit of that right there. Okay. So that is that arm pretty much done. Let's put in the, whatchamacallit here. This is going to wrap upwards, a little bit of the TFL muscle. Sorry guys, I went silent. I'm just concentrating real hard. Alright. So my bicep probably just needs to come out a little bit more. Go into there. And then you're going to get that maybe. I think that bicep's going to be a little more on top than what I have currently. You're going to get the or the brachialis muscle. Then probably going to actually see a good portion of the tricep here before you get to the elbow. So I think that's okay though. Have to check when we get back. Alright. I'm not going to worry about the serratus anterior muscle for now. I am going to, however, present this fist in perspective, just so I know. Okay. Probably can give this guy a little bit more muscle mass here. Okay, I'm cool with that so far. Alright, these dang legs crush me every time. Alright, so for the knee is facing down and it's going away from us. So we're going to get muscle tone there, right next to it, and a little bit up here. It's probably going to come from around that point. A little high, but that's alright. Oops. Alright, and then slice this in half, and you're going to get band here. Comes around to about here. This is going to come here. Alright. Probably ease up on that. So, get a little bit of bone here. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna get probably a similar thing from the last one over here. Gonna get the gracilis muscle. Actually, the gracilis. Let me see here. Yeah, the gracilis enters and goes to about here. So, gonna get that, but you're also going to get a little bit of hamstring in the back. And then inside is lower. Something like this. Let me think. So if I look at it from the inside, yeah, this comes up like that, and then this. And so the knee is going to rest right in here. Okay. So now I can probably erase this down a little bit. Did that to give myself a sense of the perspective. There's two bones here. here. This one's coming on this side. It faces inside from here to here. The halfway point's up there. Okay. This is like this. Alright. This is already coming out much better than the other one, though, I will say that, so it's cool to see the improvement in just one drawing. This is bigger than the knee. Get a little bit of a box in perspective like this for the bones. This comes down to here. So it's got to be a little bit wider. Oops. A bad earphone popped out on me. Alright. So this is here. So inside up, outside down. Alright, I'm cool with that. Let me check my reference. Okay, so alright. Okay, so small corrections, nothing too serious. Yeah, this is a overall much better study. So the delt comes a little bit more over than I had it, which means that the biceps taking up much more space, which is why I had it small to begin with. But that's fine. It also is going to end because it's bald a little sooner. Then we get here. And this comes down and into that. Okay. Other than that, though, this one's not too bad. I will call that a success. This arm is to be honest with you, this one's pretty much perfect, which is good to see. Yeah, this just needs to come up. Okay, so that's good. Let's check out the dreaded legs. I got the glutes pretty much right. Just this part up top is not quite as heavy. Okay. Alright. So I will say, I think that actually, it's not that far off. I thought that the leg was just really long, but it's actually, like, not bad. I'm at the upper leg, sorry. If anything, it's a little short, which is weird. This leg isn't bent quite enough. Yeah. So that was just a mistake that I made in the beginning, but I can probably fix that. So this is, I think this part's actually okay. It's more so that part, but the muscles though I actually got correct, so I just really need to spend some time looking at knees. This muscle right here is a little off. Comes and wraps in quicker, so it's gonna come up around and it's gonna wrap in quicker than what I have it, something like that. But I mean, other than that, it's not bad. This needs to be elongated. Oh, lordy. Alright, that's about as good as I'm probably going to get it. Alright. That's not too bad. Let's take it. Here, let me... Alright, so that one took me a little longer. Let's actually do a female. Let's find an interesting pose here. I like this one. Alright, so let me switch out my models real fast. Oof. Check my text messages really quick too. Sorry, everybody. All right. All right, so I really like this pose because I get to practice the, you'll see. So the rib cage is at just the slightest of tilts. And then we get the tilted pelvis. That needs to be brought up just a little bit. Maybe shrunk down. Sorry about the coughing, everybody. Like a solid. Oh man, I really screwed up that angle on that. I'm like a pretty solid assumption that I have the flu. This is actually tilted, but like this. Yeah, that's more accurate. I don't know what I was doing. Alright. So, I don't know if y'all noticed, but a big difference between doing legs for males versus females is that the hips is that for males, you're going to get it like start the femur like right there. For females, you just start it a little outside. Just to give them the hip space that they're supposed to have for stuff like rearing children and things like that. Alright. And this woman's fairly short. Her legs are very short, actually. So I'm actually going to represent that in this. Her legs are not quite half. So I'm going to go from the chin to the ground because that is about her proportions. This leg is not quite as tilted as I have it. Oops, chin down. Oof, this is a little difficult because just so y'all know, like almost every body that you'll draw, and I'm like kind of copying this straight out of Mark Brunet's like one of his latest like YouTube like art review videos for his art school, but bodies are like 90% of the time in like basically like a 4-point perspective or like a fancy 2-point perspective, whatever you want to say. And that's because you get a horizon line, and in this case, her horizon line in this photo is like right about here. So the reason why that's good to know is that that's why you see the top of people's feet, but you'll see, like, for instance, her eyes are facing this way. You would see not a lot of the under part of the chin, but some of it, and you see, like, the lower part of the thoracic cage or thoracic cage, whatever it's called, the rib cage, and stuff like that. So that's just for y'all's knowledge. Alright, so we get a little bit of bone action right in here, and, oops, let me just get the arms in and then I'll stop doing this. Let me get her feet in. I have her tilted. I hate when I do that. I have, like, this natural, here, let me show y'all. I have this, like, weird natural tendency to, like, draw my stuff at, like, an angle. I hate it so much, but watch. She's falling over. Her, like, everything should be, like, her heels should be basically in the middle of that, so it's obviously wrong. At least I'm catching it now. Before I was never, like, actually catching it. So let's tilt her. That feels a little better. Let's see if it is a little better. Yep. I think that her... Yeah, I think that that's fine. Feels more balanced. You can give her feet a little bit more length because they are a little bit longer than that. Alright, so let's get shoulders. See, this is why I chose this one, actually. Let me get in this clavicle, and then let's get this one in. So this is one of the ones where the arm is facing upward, so it makes the arm anatomy a little bit more difficult and the chest anatomy. Also, just for a fun proportion thing, when you pull your arm up, it is going to, your elbow is almost at the top of your head or around that, if it goes all the way up. And if you, like, tilt your head, it will go over top your head, but if you keep your head straight, it's almost directly in line with the top of your head. Just a fun little reference for you. This is not quite the right angle. And thumb, and that's all I really need. The thumb is on the back side, over here. Okay, time to get rid of the reference. And let's try some female anatomy now, which is roughly the same with some, I would say 3-4 major differences. 2 of them we all know. Oh. Alright. Let's get this going. Let me shift this over a little bit. Alright. So let's start off with the hard part, which is this. So, here, let me show you the huge difference here. So, you get your pectoralis major muscles, and this one is going to flop right in here. And when it goes up, it kind of wraps around like that. So you end up getting that like wrapping effect. Then we're gonna get a little bit of stuff here. Brachioradialis here. Excuse me. I think I need to make her head a little smaller. Yeah, it's better. All right. Right here. Get a little cleaner at doing that because it's really not that difficult. All right, so we're gonna get bone here. So in this case, I think I did this slightly wrong. I think it'll still probably end up here, but that's because of foreshortening. Yeah, I think it's probably a little closer to being right. Maybe not. Let me see. Alright, let's keep it like it is and see what we get. Alright, so we're going to get a little bit of the glute here. I just gave up on the arms, didn't I? It's my ADHD kicking in right there. Alright, so gonna get the bicep right in here. Thumb was back here, so again, a lot of people get this incorrect, but the bicep actually goes underneath the pectoralis major muscle, so it goes underneath your pecs, just for, you know, your own information there. Feels a little off. Feels better. Okay. Getting a lot of these views today with a little bit of hamstring in the back. It's very interesting. I feel like that's not a very like prevalent thing, but maybe I was just mistaken. Maybe it is. Alright, so we're going to get, so the thing that's important about female anatomy with the chest muscle is where you put the glob of fat, and we all know what it is. I just don't want to get YouTube banned, but the glob of fat occurs at the bottom section of the Pectoralis Major, and excuse me, it's going to be pushed or pulled wherever the pec is going. So for instance, on this side, I wouldn't draw it like this, right? Because it's being pulled. So it's not going to be much, but it is going to go in the direction in which it's being pulled. So that's something that a lot of people get wrong. I'm still not great at drawing this, by the way, but I think that's too close. I have gotten better over time. And there is also a triangle that can be formed. And then what happens is it there's like this line that actually kind of goes into the chest muscle, or not the chest muscle, but into where the clavicle reaches. But what happens is it just goes right into Pectoralis Major, and there you go. I think this one's a little high still, so let me go ahead and lower that just a bit while still having it be ovular and going upwards. And that changes my triangle a bit, but I think that that's fine. And then we're going to get bicep. Alright, let me think here. The bicep is going to come down and in like that. And you're going to get the back part of the shoulder. She's looking a little beefy, so let me chop that down a little bit. And the coracobrachialis right there. And then a little bit of the tris. So in this case, this is going to actually overlap this as far as the foreshortening is concerned. Elbow is here. Pinky is here. Alright. So let me finish this off. Elbow is here. Pinky is opposite sides, so that would mean we're going to get Brachioradialis doing this, but here, and then a little bit from the back side of that. I think that this needs to be angled a little bit more. Okay. I think that I need to fix this up just a little. Have this go in just a little. And her neck's a little thick. do think that the head could be a little bit bigger. Alright, almost done. Okay, so alright, so I got that. Man, these knees. Alright, so tibia and fibula, femur and tibia meet here. There's a box. The box is going to be kind of like this on this one. Alright, so this is going to come here. This is going to wrap down a little bit. Okay. Then we're going to get this tilt towards the inside. Tilt. Is that right? Tilt. Yes. Tilt towards the inside. This is going to go. Uh-oh. Headphone fell out again. It's going to go toward the heel, Alright. There's a little meat missing right here, I think. Alright. I think the thing that there's a couple of things I think I messed up just a little bit. I think I'm going to try to fix it actually. I think the upper body is a little bit too long. Here, let me do it this way. Just go ahead and I think this is a little too long. It needs to be tilted slightly. And I also think that her shoulder over here has to be pushed in a little bit. And that feels better. Alright, let's look at the reference and wrap up. Okay, alright. Couple of things. The first is that the biggest mistake is still in the legs, and that's only because I didn't make her legs as thick as the models, but I'm not too worried about that only because the model is a little extra thick. But what I am worried about is this leg over here, looking at hers, because this is right here, right, her pubis area, and I did the gracilis muscle way too far inward. It needs to be almost right on there, and that would mean that you would still get hamstring along with that. So the gracilis would be here. This probably can plop out a little further. Let me erase. So the gracilis is like here, and that would mean that the hamstring is here, and then it would give that a little bit more to go off of here, and then the calf muscle also can come out a little bit. And then, you know, this leg could have also been better. I think it's just a minor change, though. I think that's really it. I'm not going to worry about, like, I know that y'all can't see the reference. I'm just kind of talking to myself here, but no real need to worry about getting it perfect with the model, especially when you're not using the model as the reference. There is one thing, though, with the calf. This needed to come out more and then come back in, so that's something I'll have to keep studying my lower legs. I'll do that next week as well. But overall, though, like, I'm pretty happy with the way that this went. I'll continue to, like, probably practice this exact thing for the next few weeks until I feel like I've, like, come close to mastering it. Because I think that this is going to actually be how I do my characters for my comics. Right now, this is a very long process because I'm not used to it. But the way that I like to draw, I like things to be as realistic looking as possible, with obviously some of the cartoony portions. And in order to get there, like, I need to... her head. I shouldn't have shrunk her head. But I need to be able to draw the muscles in a pretty realistic fashion. Oh my gosh, yeah, that changes so much. Okay. I should have just went with what I had when I first started, because that was pretty decent. With the head, I mean. But, yeah, for those of you who... I don't know if anybody's going to watch it all the way to the end, but for those of you who, you know, did drop in, I appreciate you. And for those of you who might be watching this a little bit later, I appreciate you as well. Let me end the stream by just shrinking this down a little bit. And I will... show all three. So that's my hour's worth of work. I think it was an hour well spent. I learned a lot. Have a lot of stuff I need to work on, but you know, it's always a good thing, and I'm getting the muscles, you know, each attempt I'm getting a little better. So, all right. Well, again, sorry that there wasn't as much commentary as usual. Again, I'm not feeling great. But yeah, hopefully, you know, if you're watching this back through again, I hope that it was helpful. I might even use some of this footage and speed it up and use it for some of my videos in the future. But anyways, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the support. I'm Manga Mike, and I am out.